I haven't gotten to talk about this yet, but the September 2023 Nintendo Direct gave us a lot of projects to be excited about. And I want to talk about the one that left me on a positive note, for once, with Nintendo. I am so glad that this is happening, that this game wasn't forgotten about, and that they're not only bringing it back, but giving it a full makeover a la Spyro Reignited trilogy. Which, hey, I'm just fine with them bringing it back alone. This is like way more than I expected them to do. Nintendo has been on a very bad track record, especially when it comes to their backlog of games. They go ahead and nuke whatever website and emulator they can to not allow people to play their past games, and yet they don't release them anywhere themselves. So they're not solving anything by doing this. This has been the story over and over and over again with Nintendo, and I'm sick of it. If Nintendo isn't gonna do anything or, you know, sell it again, why take any sort of accessibility to the product down? Just make it available and people will get it. It's like they're Twitter users. They complain about this and that, about it existing, and yet do absolutely nothing to remedy the problem. They always actively make it worse and punish people for it. Like, seriously, what do you expect us to do? Bend the knee and keep praising you? Well, I mean, some people would. But lately, that's starting to look a little hopeful with the release of Miitopia, Metroid Prime Remastered, Paper Mario, and now Luigi's Mansion 2. Hell, even Pikmin has gotten some attention as well. It's looking like we no longer have to rely on eBay lowlives to be merciful, and that Nintendo is giving us a way out, finally. Now, pricing has always been a problem with Nintendo, but lately though, they seem to have been distinguishing between pricing for ports and for remasters. So, from what it looks like, it does seem like they're getting their act together, finally. I'm just so happy I don't have to resort to swearing at eBay leeches though. Just being real. Now, speaking of Luigi's Mansion 2 itself, again, I'm just happy it's here and that they're actually not only just increasing the resolution, the textures, but just giving it a full makeover to make it a little more in line with Luigi's Mansion 3. It's insane. It'll of course still look like Dark Moon, but you can pay attention to Luigi's character model. It actually has stitches and the like, making it more high fidelity. It's just so nice. At the same time though, I really don't want them to change anything game-wise, since I grew up with this game, so duh. And I really do think that this game has the superior vacuum mechanic over 3, so just enhance it and release it at a fair price. I think that's fine, but we'll have to see what they do. The game's setup would still work for the Switch though, since it relies on missions for quick plays, rather than how 3 handled it, which is just full floors and you can come back to it whenever you want to. It's like an in-between. This is more mission-based. A lot of Nintendo games during this time took that approach, but in all honesty, I don't think it would go that far. I just think they do the bare minimum quality of life changes. Plus, the Nintendo Switch is still a portable system, so it's not like it would be out of place. Now, they did say that this was going to come out next year, so we'll see what they do in the end. But I'm just so excited to see if this changes something in Nintendo. To not let their projects just lie in their company vault, and that there is value in re-releasing them on newer consoles, keeping them accessible so people can play them, and for people like me to not have to scream out a wall that they can't play it anymore, especially when they've shut down the 3DS and Wii U shops permanently, and that the hardware is kind of failing now. Sadly, that happened to my Wii U. One day, man, I'll get you repaired. One day. I am kind of afraid that because a lot of these are digital only releases at first, that despite them being priced a lot more fairly than a lot of other ports that they've done before, that because these are digital releases, they can just take them away at any time, just like they did for Super Mario 3D All-Stars. And that worries me a lot. The only thing I ask besides it being considered for porting is just that they leave it up on the stores, and that whenever they make or move to a new console, that they just bring it over. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Or keep up the good work with their physical releases as well. Every single remaster/port recently has gotten a physical release, thankfully, even if it does come a little bit later on. I think this is a fine way of handling it too. Just keep it preserved. A lot of these companies seem to be allergic to doing that properly, so I don't know, man. But these games mean so much to many of us. I just wish they could be a little more sympathetic and not forget the human aspect to many things, instead of just being a soulless corporation like they've become. But like many things, we'll see. We will see.